Decided to eat this one food item. I don't know why my body was craving it, but it was something that I needed and I wanted it. Even the worst thing ever. You know what that food item was? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Tamika. Hello gorgeous. I hope everyone has had a safe and blessed new year. So I'm welcoming you into 2024. We are on for better and greater things to come. So girl, I had some things to share with you. So before we even get into the clip that you saw of me talking about earlier, I have to do a little recap of 2023 and some things that I have learned. So let's go ahead and get right into this video, okay? So I hope you learned something, get something out of it. First tip is whatever you choose to jumpstart your weight loss journey with, do it. Do not wait a second longer. Just make sure you do your research, okay? So for me in 2023, February 6th, I chose to take Wegovy injections with the semaglutide. It suppresses your appetite. If you don't know Wegovy, you probably have heard of Ozempic. Ozempic is those for who have underlying issues such as like diabetes, but for those who are taking Wegovy, it is just strictly for weight loss. So I had to do some research, and I feel like God put me in position to be at the right place at the right time where I was introduced Wegovy. And I was on it for 4 months. I lost 20 pounds and I have been able to keep it off. But if I had not started and I let fear set in because of all the stories that I've heard and what everybody's saying, some people, crack jokes, whatever, set aside everybody else's opinion and you do what you need to do for yourself. Check in with your doctor, make sure it is right for you, and just go on from there. Because, like I said, I lost 20 pounds and was able to keep it off. And I felt like that was the best decision that I ever made. But I also learned a lot of things along the way. So my next tip to you will be is a calorie deficit. Please keep in mind that no matter whatever weight loss regimen that you decide to take, it's all about calories. It's all about numbers. In order for you to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. I don't care if you're doing keto, paleo, or just eating whole foods. What you put in matters, and what you burn also matters. I'm going to hear people talk, well, like, girl, you can easily just gain the weight back, or don't try that, or don't try this pill. It doesn't matter because you will always gain weight as long as you're eating in a calorie surplus. So you want to make sure that you are either eating in a maintenance or a deficit, depending on your goals. So the next tip I would want to say is weight loss and fat loss are two different things. Can they be done at the same time? Yes, especially if you are a beginner. But I must say that when I was on Wegovy, I was mainly focusing on weight loss, even though I still walked, but the scale was going down. Fat loss is when you are adding in resistance training and, weightlifting. Adding more resistance will help shrink your fat. So please keep that in mind, that if you are someone like me that noticed that I was like slim fat, where the fat is just kind of like sagging, especially in my thighs, because that's where I carry the most fat, I should have been adding more resistance training to avoid that. Consistency matters. Consistency matters with what you are feeding into your body. Consistency matters also with your weight training. All right. So the next thing that I learned is when it comes down to eating in a calorie deficit. So say you're at 1500, but your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, metabolic rate is 1400. If you're eating below your standard, which is 1400, then you could be putting yourself in danger when it comes down to your body just holding on to fat, because it feels like you're going into starvation mode. Now, when I got off Wegovy, I was so used to eating so small and so little and just eating less calories that my body just felt like it just froze. Like far as the weight loss, it stalled. Now, in order for it to go down even more as far as like the scale, I would have to reduce my calories. If I'm already eating below my BMR, I have nowhere else to go. My body's going to go into starvation mode. So what I had to do was do a reverse diet, which meaning that I needed to go back up to my calorie maintenance. So say my calorie maintenance was at 1900. That's where I needed to be, eat more, and then slowly reduce. So I'll have numbers to pull from. And that way I'm not putting my body in starvation mode. Eating less is not the way to go. It's eating more and being in a safe calorie deficit is how you are able to lose your weight consistently without letting it be a quick, dramatic weight loss, like say losing 15 pounds in 2 weeks. Like that's excessive and very dramatic. You can easily gain your weight back. All right, so I had to change my camera. All right, so the audio is going to be a little bit different. All right, so now let's get into the reason why I had decided to make this life changing of the way I eat and what I am doing right now. All right, so earlier in December, I decided to eat this one food item. I don't know why my body was craving it, but it was something that I needed and I wanted it. And girl, it was the worst decision that I ever made in my life. And I surrender right now. So let me tell you what that food item was, okay? Girl, I was craving the worst thing ever. You know what that food item was? A hot dog. Now you might be wondering, girl, why of all things was you craving a hot dog? I didn't have any barbecue the whole entire year of 2023. So I wanted a hot dog. I ate it. It was Sunday night. I was craving it. I had a beef hot dog put on a bun and I had barbecue sauce on it. Something said, get your camera out. And I was like, nope, I ain't getting my camera out because what's the purpose of it? It's just me eating a hot dog. Like, girl, what's going on? Like, what you talking about? So I ate the hot dog within 1 hour, and it's going to be a little TMI, but within 1 hour, my stomach ballooned from the top all the way to the bottom. I looked like I was 4 months pregnant. I said, I know you lying. No. I looked in the mirror and I could not believe that my shirt was sticking out. My stomach was round. It was hard to walk. I was so miserable. I couldn't begin to tell you the different positions I had to put my body in just to release multiple gases in order for me to feel comfortable to lay down at that night. So it was a Sunday night. I went to bed miserable. I went to bed literally hating myself because I could not believe I gave in to that nasty craving. Like, what in the world was I thinking? Now, mind you, I've been eating meat. I used to be vegan a few years ago. It's never been documented on here, okay? So from 2017 to 2020, I was a junk food processed vegan. I didn't start losing weight until I started taking an appetite suppressant through a company, which I'm not even going to name because it's not even worth naming. But I took it and I was able to lose 15 pounds within a few months. But like I said, eating processed food just really hindered the whole enjoyment of just eating healthy, rich foods that is nutrition for my body. So I did a lot of research the next day as far as like trying to understand more and more about what vegan and plant-based and vegetarian is. Now you're probably wondering, well, what made you become vegan the first time around and why did you stop? Well, I became vegan because I was scared straight. I watched a documentary on scary dairy and I did it cold turkey. The next day I was like, I'm not doing any more meat or dairy, and I did that for a straight 3 years. I quit because I don't know, I guess it wasn't like a whole lot of meaning to it because like I said, I was just scared straight and just never understood the backstory, like the back end. The documentaries as far as like it's teaching you why you should be, you know, eating less meat or no meat and no dairy. It's reverted back, and then that's when I just did keto. I researched on documentaries on what the health. I even listened to an audiobook which was free on Amazon Prime for the Starch Solution by Dr. McDougall. So I started listening to a whole lot of doctors who are really talking about this and who is trying to, you know, help those who have underlying issues. Although I don't have any diseases or whatnot, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't start prepping myself now. Like, why would I wait until something happens and then have to make a hard, drastic decision and just go cold turkey when I can just start working on myself right now? It was the following day. I just decided to not even eat meat. Now, I call myself a vegetarian because it was, so what is hard for me is the dairy part. Now, eggs I can do without. I'm not big on eggs, although I would eat it, especially when I was on keto. But eating eggs, I don't really care to eat it. But as far as like the cheese wise, you know, you have your Jiffy cornbread, you have your macaroni and cheese, you know, those type of foods that has dairy products that is derived in the actual product. That is what's challenging for me to get off of. But again, this is just a process. It is going to, you know, I'm going to slowly wean myself off of it. But girl, like, I just couldn't believe like that really happened to me. And I was like, you know what? I can go without meat. It's no big deal. But the dairy, I just have to work on. So going forward, I am just choosing to call myself a vegetarian. I do eat 95% whole foods and the rest is like a little bit of processed. But yeah, I want a birthday cake, I'm gonna eat a birthday cake. But slowly I want to wean myself off of that and just have my own vegan plant-based type of cake. So I just wanted to share that with you because I just could not believe that my body did what it did. But why am I shocked? It was a hot dog. It was disgusting. I shouldn't have had it. So even though I didn't really have to, you know, go meatless, I could have just did pescatarian, which I did document on my channel, but I didn't stay on it long. So now that I have an understanding, you know, through research with the doctors and them giving their input and how, you know, live testimonies of people who has reversed their underlying issues has now been reversed and they're feeling good, they're feeling better, they have more energy. So how my body feels right now, now that it's been about 3.5 weeks, my body feels good. I feel a little lighter. I don't feel as hungry because I'm eating more starch. And you know, I'd be wondering like, girl, you eating all those carbs. But when you really think about it, carbs is not bad, okay? Eating an apple, eating a banana, quinoa, white rice, brown rice, potatoes, those are not bad. Now, eating the cookies and donuts and cakes, the processed food, packaged food, that is not good for you. So that is not good for me, and I notice a difference in my body because I'm not eating meat. Now, what I do notice that when I do consume dairy, like macaroni and cheese, my stomach does start to tie up in a little bit of knots. But when I don't have any dairy at all, along with not having any meat, my body feels good. You know, the only thing I have to work on is just, again, like I said earlier, in order to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. So with me eating more starch, yes, I felt like my hips started to spread a little bit more, but I'm still able to fit into my size 12s. I noticed that they are not as loose as they were, especially around the hips. So that is something that I have to be like, okay, a little bit mindful of. Like, just because I can eat the starch, that doesn't mean that I should be going crazy with it. So 2024, going forward, my plan is to slowly transition and get out of being a vegetarian and go into whole food plant-based. So that is the end. I hope you guys got something out of this. Please, if you have any questions or if you want to share your journey of 2023 and what you've learned, drop it down in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos, and also give this video a thumbs up. Blessed and safe one, and I will talk to you a little bit later, okay? I hope my story wasn't too much. No, Sammy. Yeah. Yeah, so happy New Year's to everyone. Goodbye, gorgeous.